going to be on. The potential first woman ever to win a WPT title, Van Nguyen.
I'd raise.
She's first to action. She's got an ace-8 this time of spades.
250.
Not a bad hand in a four-handed poker game, so she's going to pop it up. Makes it 250,000 to go.
Right to her left here, Justin with ace-10.
Well, tough decision for Justin. He sees she's getting far more aggressive now.
No call.
He's just going to call with the ace-10, does not raise with it.
Yep, Ethan Ruby. Gonna throw away a 5-3, and Billy Baxter out.
So right now, Justin well out in front. He's got ace-10. Van Nguyen has the ace-8 of spade.
Boy, the two chip leaders, very solid pot right now.
Nearly 700,000 in the pot right now. Here comes the flop. Oh, wow, what a flop for Van Nguyen. She's flopped the top two pair, aces and eights. She now has the best hand. Justin has just top pair.
500.
Top pair with the 10 kicker, and Van coming out to bet with the aces up. $500,000.
Well, this is going to put Justin in a very tough spot as to what to do. He thought he wanted to see an ace on the flop. Indeed, he did. What he doesn't know, he didn't want to see an 8 out there with it.
Well, he's thinking maybe this is just a continuation bet. Maybe she didn't hit.
I'm all in.
And he says all in.
Wow.
A call.
And a quick call by Van.
Well, he grimaces before she even turns up her hand.
Aces.
He knows he's beat. He's going to have some help to win this pot.
So I have a chip.
Van Nguyen well out in front with the aces and eights. Justin Marchand's tournament life on the line.
2 pair.
And in the poker world, aces and eights are known as the dead man's hand. Justin's going to be a dead man unless he can help here, Vince.
Well, the writing is on the wall for the journalist right now. Put his foot in it against the chip leader, and he is all in.
Right now, he's just wondering to himself, what would have happened if I'd have moved all in before the flop? Would she have called me with the ace-8?
Doubtful. The way she plays, I don't think so.
Well, it's not over. He can catch a 10 to take the lead, and a running pair of face cards would give him a lead as well.
Justin's wife, Gwen, praying for the right card. Here comes 4th Street.
Well, it's a queen, so that's helpful in that if another queen comes off, he would win the pot because he would have aces and queens with a higher kicker, the 10 kicker. So Justin Marchand can now catch a queen or a 10 to win this pot. He must have one of those two cards, otherwise he's going to be our 4th place finisher.
And the river card of 9 of clubs, it's not going to do it for Justin.
Well, she has done it. She has outdrawn Justin on the flop. Her hand stood up. She is now the massive chip leader with 3 players left.
And she goes to her mosh pit of friends and celebrates a major chip leader. But that's going to do it for Justin Marchand, our 4th place finisher. A gallant effort.
Way to bad. Should have moved in.
Win your way into a live World Poker Tour event by playing online poker at clubwpt.com. Sign up for free today using bonus code YT55 and get a free entry into our next WPT main event qualifier.
That is the defending champion of this event.
Looks down at a 9-8. He quickly folds. Mike Vella out. Mark Weitzman.
Mark, a long-time top-notch poker pro.
He's folded.
Action now on the amateur, Mike White. Mike looks down at a pair of 9s.
Whoa.
He's on the button. He's a construction worker.
Raise.
And Vince, the guy's actually gone to work every day this week while he's playing in this tournament.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Sorry to hear it. All right, well, he is going to take the 9s, and he's going up. He's going to raise it to $175,000 to go. Into WPT champion, the youngest champion on the tour, Nick Schulman.
Well, Nick won this tournament 2 years ago. As you said, he's been the youngest winner in the history of the World Poker Tour at 21 years and 1 month.
And he's got an uneventful 5-10. He's going to muck it. And now Tom Dwan, the chip leader, has a big hand, ace, queen of hearts.
Well, this is very confident, sort of cocky 21-year-old. Comes to this final table as the big chip leader.
He's from Edison, New Jersey. He's a heck of a player. He might be cocky, but his nickname is Durr. I don't know how you get too cocky with that nickname.
Raise.
Well, he's going to re-raise.
Yep.
Going to try to find out where he's at right now. He comes over the top with a healthy raise. Going to make it $640,000 to go here.
Well, he's thinking Mike just had the button. He can't be that strong. I have a solid hand. I'm coming over the top. Little does he know, Mike has a very strong hand. Pair of 9s.
Well, Vince's also got a problem. You see him twitching his seat there. You don't want to go out of any tournament on the final table on the first deal. He recognizes how much money is at stake here tonight.
I call.
Well, he's just going to call.
Well, it's over $1.5 million difference between the guy who goes out first and the guy who wins this tournament. That's a lot of working days, Vince.
How much more do you have roughly?
And believe me, if you're getting a paycheck, folks, you know what I'm talking about. Life-changing money here.
Well, let's see if the construction worker will get lucky on this flop. It's a good flop for him, 4-4-3.
Well, indeed it is. There's no overcards to the 2 9s out there. Action's going to be on Tom Dwan, however.
Tom, nothing hitting from there. Ace high at this point. Is he going to take a stab with a continuation bet? Yes, he is.
Well, Vince, you can't blame him. Over $1.3 million in the pot.
Well, it's a $335,000 bet. Just a feeler.
Mike has got to recognize the only hands that can beat him right now are 2 aces, 2 kings, 2 queens, 2 jacks, 2 10s. Now, yes, this kid could have it, but he's been very aggressive throughout the final few tables of this tournament.
Call.
I'm sure Mike White knows it, and he just makes the call. Does not raise with 2 9s here.
Yeah.
Taking the conservative route.
Let's see if it'll pay off for him. Here comes the turn card.
Now, Jack of clubs comes up. Puts 3 clubs on the board. What would the 21-year-old do now?
That's a scary card for Mike White.
Check.
He's going to sweat this, but he must love hearing check there by Tom.
Well, Mike, and look what he's doing, Vince. Just what an amateur would do here. Looks back at his hand, I'm sure, to see if he had the 9 of clubs as one of his 2 9s. He doesn't have, so he checks the 2 9s
Gonna
here.
give a free card to the young 21-year-old. Can he suck out here? Nope.
Well, 10 of spade comes off. Now, Vince, if you're sitting in Tom Dwan's seat, you got to recognize that most likely the only way you're going to win this pot is if you bet at it, because you can't beat ace-king, you can't beat ace-jack, ace-10, any pair. So essentially, if you check here, you're waving the white flag.
Well, that's true.
I check.
Let's see if he'll bet. No, he slows down. He's going to check it.
And he's going to check, and Mike is happy to check it
Yeah.
down, it looks like. He's going to win the first pot here at this final table, and that's going to make the construction guy feel mighty good. He gives it the fist pump.
Gets a standing ovation from his friends, family. Back to the table, Jonathan Little quickly folding. And now the no-job kid, Corey Carroll from Canada, who just refuses to get a 9 to 5, he says. He has a king 10 and he's going to raise.
Makes it $180,000 to go.
Into the online star, Daryl Dickens. He's got a queen 8 of spades.
Daryl Dickens is calm, cool, and collected as any player you will ever see.
120 more.
He is going to make the call here. So 2-way action between the 2 chip leaders. Flop comes ace 7-3 with 2 spades. Daryl has flopped a flush draw.
Nothing hitting there for Corey, but he's getting pinks out there. Nevertheless,
Well,
he's going to chuck him in.
He raised pre-flop, so he's going to go ahead and make the continuation bet of $205,000 here. And the question is, what is Daryl now going to do with this flush draw? I think his poker instincts are uncanny. I've played with him before. I'm telling you, this guy plays terrific poker. Well, do you just call with the flush draw, or you go ahead and come over the top? And it looks like Daryl's getting out extra chips here to come over the top of Corey Carroll.
And there he goes again with a re-raise.
Yep. He's made it over $600,000 to go now. And Corey is just posturing right now because there's no way he's going to call over a $400,000 re-raise here with just king high.
It's the guy that just called with ace 5 for all his money.
Well, Corey does lay the hand down. Chalk one up to the online star, who's become a green felt star, Vince.
He is running good. His instincts absolutely correct. Not afraid to gamble.
Are you gonna?
His timing just seems
Oh, yeah.
perfect. He makes move without hands. He seemingly knows when to come over the top of a guy. This is his second WPT final table. As with Jonathan Little, Corey Carroll also on a good run. Just won $500,000 playing tournament poker himself, so he's on a roll.
Jonathan Little quickly folding. And now the Canadian, Corey Carroll.
Well, going to try something different here. Going to limp in the small blind with the 8-5 of hearts. And Daryl Dickens says, give us a flop then.
10-7.
And flop comes ace-3 deuce with 2 hearts. Corey Carroll with the flush draw and straight draw checks it.
Yeah, and right behind him, Daryl checking as well. Here comes the turn, and there hits a flush there for Corey, but he's going to check again. Daryl Dickens going to make a bet.
Well, Daryl bet 75,000 here. He's drawing completely dead. He's trying to represent a hand that Corey actually has, a flush. And Corey's looking back to make sure he has that flush, man.
I love this acting job.
That's a bit of a tell, though, isn't it?
Just casually calls with
does-
his flush.
Does not raise with the flush here.
Well, he wants to pretend like he only has one heart. Oh, and that's going to hurt his action there.
Well, Corey is not liking that, because if his opponent had one heart in his hand right now, he would have a flush. Corey checks on the turn. 9 of hearts at the river, putting 4 hearts out there. Unfortunate for Daryl, the only way he has a chance to win this pot is to bet at it. Remember, he's just got the 10-7 offsuit.
Doesn't have a heart. Would be scary to bet right now.
Got to figure his opponent can beat that for sure, so he's going to take a stab at this pot. He's going to have to bluff at it.
Well, sometimes you just give it up at this point. You would think maybe this is one of those times. But no, Daryl Dickens bravely bets.
This hand did not work out how I wanted. I call.
200,000, and the Canadian's complaining, but he's going to make the right call.
I guess it did work out how I wanted.
Indeed, the pot's going the right direction, Corey, so don't feel so bad. But as you said, he wasn't liking that 9 of hearts whatsoever.
Daryl Dickens is showing a smile, saying, hey, I'm finally caught here.
Those chips are euros, because we're playing for euros tonight, since we're in Spain.
All right, the cards have been dealt in the castle. Hand number 1. Action is going to be on Steve Sung from Torrance, California. He's going to throw away a Queen 3. Gus Hansen, 3-time WPT champion, looks at his cards. It's a Jack 7. Not bad enough for Gus. He throws it out.
It's over the 22-year-old French law student, Ludovic Luque. And look at this, Vince. He's picked up 2 aces on the first deal.
Oh, the atom bombs of poker, pair of aces.
Well, let's see what he's going to do. He's going to raise it. He's going to make it 42,000 to go.
Marcus Lehman quickly folding his hand.
Around to the Russian, Vladimir Polishuk. He doesn't speak English, but he does play a lot of poker. Been a pro for 5 years. He lays this hand down.
Now Christer Johansson, who's taken a WPT title before. He looks at a big hand, ace, queen of spades.
Well, Christer's in the big blind. He won the inaugural WPT tournament in Paris, France. Would love to capture a second WPT title tonight.
Ace, queen, a very notorious hand on the WPT. He has knocked so many players out. But it's a strong starting hand, but little does he know what he's up against. The weapons of mass destruction by the Frenchman.
Raise.
Does not want to misstep here, but yes, he's going to fall into the trap, going to do a raise.
And a pretty healthy raise. He's made it 172,000 to go here.
Now look at Ludovic. I mean, seeing a raise of 150,000 when you got aces.
Now, Vince, he couldn't believe it. He looked back down at his cards again. Here it is, hand number 1 at the WPT final table. He picks up 2 aces. He not only raises it, he gets re-raised by an opponent.
Beautiful.
You got to pinch yourself.
Now he's almost short stacked.
Well, he's only got a couple 100,000 left after this raise of Christer, so be surprised if he just doesn't set it all in right here, right now.
I'm all in.
And there you go.
Indeed he does. He's gone tappy, as they say in France. He's moved all in.
I call. I call.
And Christer says, I call.
Well, Christer about pot committed there. Nearly 600,000 in that pot. Only going to cost him about 225,000 more to make the call. So he has made the call, and he is not going to like it. He is a massive underdog here.
Wow.
It's 2 aces versus the ace queen of spade. So the WPT champion is going to have to get very lucky to win this pot. Let's see if he can do it.
We call that a cold deck in poker. Just nothing you can do about it. Here's the flop, 2 8s and a 10. Not going to help our man from Sweden.
Well, Christer is now going to have to catch 2 runners to win this pot. 2 cards to make a straight, or running queen-queen.
Ludovic up from his seat, trying to contain the excitement.
Queen, queen, or jack 9.
Would be fun.
Or 8-8.
Yeah, a running 8-8 would get them a split, of course.
8-8 is only half. I want the whole one.
Turn card coming up.
Well, there's one of the parts of the puzzle that he needs.
Whoa.
A queen comes off. So Christer is not drawing dead. He can now catch a queen and win this pot.
Another queen hits. There's going to be a lot of anger in the castle. Guarantee you that.
Ludovic might put a suit of armor on and go to war here. He gets outdrawn here, but it could happen.
River card coming up.
Well, the 6 of hearts comes off. So the young Frenchman, Ludovic Luque, taking down pot number 1. Magnifique, monsieur.
That's all you got to do here on the Costa Brava. Hand number 1, pick up aces, go all in, get paid off. Poker's fun.
Ludovic Luque off to a fantastic start. He has doubled up on hand number 1.
That was an interesting first hand.
Win your way into a live World Poker Tour event by playing online poker at clubwpt.com. Sign up for free today using bonus code YT55 and get a free entry into our next WPT main event qualifier.
In second place, Las Vegas legend Billy Baxter, Poker Hall of Famer. And third place, the guy from New York, Ethan Ruby, $500,000.
Back to the table, Van Nguyen, our chip leader, with
Right.
ace-4 this time.
300.
She says raise.
She's got some pep in her step right now, and why not? There's over a 3-1 chip lead here on the rest of them.
Ethan Ruby on the short stack. He's got a wired pair of 8s here.
Yeah, Vince, he's going to have to go with this.
Yep.
Hand, I would think.
There he goes, all in.
Moving all in with the 2 snowmen. Billy Baxter going out. Well, she's going to be pot committed here, Vince, I would think.
Absolutely. It's only an additional 190. You're pot committed.
I call.
And there she goes with the call. Elementary, my dear Watson. So we have a showdown. Ace-4 up against a pair of 8s.
So right now, Ethan Ruby out in front with the 2 8s. He wishes her good luck.
It's the day trader up against Mrs. Master for a big pot and the survival of Ethan Ruby.
Now, Vince, if she gets lucky and wins this pot, she'll have a commanding lead in the heads-up play.
Here's the flop.
Well, it's 10-9-5. So far, so good for Ethan Ruby. His 2 8s still out in front. He's got to dodge an ace, 2 running 4s, or 2 running cards to win this pot. The king comes off, so we are down to the river. Van Nguyen must catch an ace to win this pot. Remember, a moment ago, she was all in where she had to catch a king on the river. She caught it to stay alive. Could she spike the ace here? No. A jack comes off. Ethan Ruby is going to win this pot with 2 8s.
As his wife rejoices in the front row.
And Vince, this guy was down to the mat. I mean the cloth. Couldn't hardly get through a round of blinds and antes. And yet here he is, coming back strong in this tournament.
Right, back to the action. It's going to be on Mike Vela, amateur player. He's a senior vice president of an investment company.
He looks down at 2 5s right now.
210. Yeah, and he's going to get aggressive with it. Going to make it 210,000 to go.
Over to top pro, Mark Weitzman. Looks down at a 9 deuce and folds.
Yeah, now Mike White, who won the first hand, he's going to look down at a pair of 4s, 44, midlife crisis.
He's got to feel like he's got a new tool belt on after taking down the first pot here, so he's feeling good.
Couple wired pairs, back to back, not too bad.
And he is going to make the call with the 2 4s.
Nick Schulman going out. Now it's around to Tom Dwan. He's got 2 ladies.
Unbelievable.
Pair of queens, unreal. 3 wired pairs in his hand.
Raise.
He's going to raise it. Remember, he got burned in the last pot.
Why not? You got dead money already in there. That would be the limper, the caller.
Well, over $500,000 out there right now.
Well, it looks like an additional 550,000. It's going to be 760 total. Next to act is Nenad Medic. Nenad with a king-queen.
Now, Nenad doesn't even have that much money. He's on the short stack here with only about 500,000.
I'll go all in.
Well, Vince, he's going all in here. A little surprised by this play by the defending champion. When one guy's raised, another called, another guy came over the top. You know these guys have got hands, but what Nenad is looking at is all that money that's sitting in the middle of the pot. Well over $1 million out there right now, so he's going to try to triple up here.
Good luck, sir.
The 5s and the 4s have gone out,
Too
so
much money out there.
So as the cards lie, Tom Dwan, a nice favorite to take down this pot and eliminate the defending champion, Nenad Medic.
last year won this title. He picked up $1.7 million. He's been a professional poker player for 4 years, highly respected in the game.
We've never had a player successfully defend his title on the World Poker Tour, but if he's going to do it, he's going to have to get lucky and win this pot.
Nenad Medic, the gentle giant, on the ropes right now.
Still kings left on the deck, right?
Yep. No one folded one.
I had two.
And nobody else in the pot had a king in their hand, so He's drawing live, as we say.
Some clubs left in the deck as well.
No, it's gonna come Jack 10 9 8 of clubs.
Very confident Tom Dwan, loving this. Let's see if his hand is out in front still. 9-3 deuce, not good for
Did you just
Nenad.
call for a king, Adam? A kid I live with just called for a king.
Now look at Tom Dwan. He said, my roommate just called for a king here. He might find this stuff on the stoop when he gets home, this guy, if a king comes up. Nenad could backdoor straight or catch a king to win this pot. Well, there's one of his straight cards. A jack comes off. That means if a 10 comes up, he would win the pot with a king high straight.
I'm gonna stab you.
And of course, he can catch a king to win the pot. So he has more outs, as we say, because of the turn card. He can catch a king or a 10 and win the pot. He must do so to stay alive.
I almost spit water all over the
Still needs
table.
to catch lucky if he's going to be a repeat winner here at Foxwoods. It's all coming down to the last card.
Sweat it.
It's a king! Wow! Lightning strike for the defending champion, Vince.
So it's going to be one of those kind of nights, Mike. Great bets, great raises, great calls all around.
Well, as we move on, action's going to be on the button. Corey Carroll. He lays down a 5-4 offsuit.
And now Dickens with a 7-5 in the small blind.
He's going to limp in and make the call with the 7-5 here.
And Jonathan Little with an unimpressive 10-8.
He says, give us a flop
All
here.
right, they're changing gears. Not quite as aggressive right now. Here's our flop.
It's come 8-6-6. Dickens has flopped the open-end straight draw. Jonathan's flopped top pair. Action's on Daryl. He's going to bet the open-end straight draw. He bets 80,000.
And Jonathan says, I call. Okay, will Daryl hit his card right now? Going to the turn.
Well, Daryl has now made a pair of sevens
Always.
and an open-end straight draw.
I call.
He says all in, and a quick call by John, who's on the short stack.
Daryl said all in because he knows his opponent's only got about 500,000 in chips. The all-in bet sounds more impressive, but out of that $2.5 million he put in there, he's only got to cover the amount Jonathan has. Jonathan out front right now with the 8s and 6s. His opponent has 2 7s with an open-end straight draw, but notice a 9, even though he'll make a straight, will not help him because Jonathan will have a larger straight. Daryl right now must catch a 7 or a 4. It's the only way he can win this pot.
What do I need to dodge?
Well, this could be the demise of Jonathan Little if things don't work out on the river. Here it comes.
It's a king, so Jonathan Little is doubled up here.
The short stack lives on.
And Vince, this could turn the tide dramatically here.